Good morning, Miss Spider. Um, just wanted to share a bit of an update on the survey. I know it's been a while, but my intention is to try and build a survey that it wouldn't be just for just a survey, but I mean like it can be used to create a lot of surveys, right? Anytime when a survey is required. So currently, what has been achieved so far is, I mean, let me put it this way. This is how the survey is supposed to work, right? The survey workflow says the user receives a code and a default login password via SMS. Okay, currently sending the SMS is outside the survey portal. But then in the future, it would be that we would incorporate like an SMS integration into the survey. That is the future. Then the user fills the survey based on employee level. I mean, this is something that I want a bit of clarity, right? Do we say level or do we say job role, right? So I think the survey will be on job role instead of level, right? I don't know whether it's also going to be job role within a level, but currently, what we've looked at is the job role instead of level, right? Job role, and then they submit. Okay, maybe when I'm demonstrating, I would have a clear idea what that means. Then we look at the admin side, where the admin generates the survey for the employee based on role. Should be role based on role. Um, I think here would have to create something called role and then role group, which will be the level. Role, role, role should be the level. And then we generate the code based on the branch and the survey. I'll demonstrate that. And then admin creates the user information using the employee name, telephone number, email, sorry, employee level. Um, then the ongoing updates, which some have already been done, we would also have a look at it. The answers menu should list the answers and export to Excel so that the admin will be able to pull answers to Excel sheet. And then the type of answers, I mean, this has already been worked on. And then dashboard should at least show the survey. This also has been worked on, right? And then this also has been worked on, right? And the other aspect of it is the uploading of the employee name and telephone number upload. That's people that are going to participate in the survey. If it is provided by an Excel sheet, you should be able to click a button to be able to upload all these. Okay, and then also the employee name, telephone number, upload code, level, and branch. I mean, these are also data that we can also load into the system after the system has been able to generate them. And then we looked at the question group, which it's something that I've discussed here as the role group, right? So let me demonstrate what we have achieved so far, and I'm hoping by the end of this week we should be done, and then we'll have like a demo of how it works completely. So this is the portal. So this is the admin one. Okay, so I'll log in. So immediately log in. This is what we call like a dashboard, right? Um, which is going to demonstrate. Sorry, which is going to show the um, the survey participants by use codes. Okay, I'll explain that. Several survey participants by use codes. So for instance, if we create a survey and we apply the survey to a particular kind of role, right? Um, it's going to show people who participated in the survey. That's basically what the dashboard is going to say. Okay, so it's going to let's list the survey and then as against the number of people who participated. So the survey against participants, as in like the job role. Okay, then we go to the survey dashboard itself where we are able to create a survey. So here we we set up a survey based on a duration. So for instance, I've set up a survey here, okay, based on I currently have these are two job roles, right? Pharmacist and IT manager. Let me put it. And then I've set up the duration, okay. So this is like it starts on the 8th of September 2025 and then it should end on the 31st of sorry, yes, October. It should end October 2025. And then in it I create the questions. So here I create questions that would apply to, let's say, the pharmacist. But then here is the group that I was talking about. I have this group which um it has to do with level. I'm sure this is where I would have to set the level. Okay, this is where I have to set the level. So I need to be okayed on this. This is where I have to set the level. I'm sure. Okay, because this was provided to me I think it was around 2015 where we did a fair survey. But I need to clarify if we would have to put like when we say a pharmacist, when we say a pharmacist, then the level of the pharmacist. I don't know if that works, but when we see a role which is pharmacist, because we are going to create the survey based on roles. So if there's a role for pharmacist, right? And then within the pharmacist, we have, okay, for instance, we have marketing. So if the group, sorry, if the role is marketing, then within the marketing, there has to be a group called line manager, what's it called? A normal staff. Yes. So, I mean, I'm trying to get a clarity. So if that works, then let me know because in creating survey based on marketing, then we'll select like a group. Okay, so that it we are able to segregate the answers. Okay, so if that works, that's fine. And then this is like basically creating the question and then the answer type where we have agree, disagree, and then we have the ability to if there's it has to be a text, then obviously that's if the user is to fill a text field, then we select that based on the question. So when that is done, then the next thing is we look at the branches. These are branches that we are going to create. Okay, these are branches that we are going to create, and then we look at the job levels. This is where I create the. I mean, this is not supposed to be a level, right? It's rather supposed to be the role, job role. So we create the job roles here. Then we generate the survey codes. So we generate the survey codes based on, let's say, the branch, and then the survey. So this is the survey. So I'm generating a code based on the survey that we've created for the role called pharmacist. Okay. So basically I've generated some for Laboni. This is two. So this is the code that we're going to use. Then we come to the employee info. So ideally, this is what I was talking about, the fact that we should have a button to be able to load all employees here, right? Using a click of a button from an Excel sheet, we should be able to load all the employees here, right? And then this is what we will be doing in terms of how we will be providing each and every employee with a particular kind of a code so that the code will then reference the employee anytime the employee fills the form, or sorry, fills the survey. So ideally, there's an update that is supposed to happen here, and that is, if let's say I should put the employee name in here, I should be able to select the branch, which currently is not working. So we're working on it to do that. I should be able to select the branch to tie the employee to the branch, and then the telephone number I'll provide. Then based on the selection of the branch, I should be able to select the code that applies to that particular what's it called, survey, and its code that would then I would then use to add to the employee, so that we'll get like an employee list here that shows the employee with this code. Okay. Then when it comes to the answers bit, right, it shows the employee, it shows the answers, sorry, it shows the answers with the employee code, and then the branch, and then the level, right, which I'm sure should be the role. Okay, and then I think we should have another column here that says the level itself. So we should have the row and the level, okay, that shows in here. But here also we are able to currently we've done the export to the Excel, right? So we are able to export the questions to Excel for analysis. And then also um what I was also indicating here was that, currently as the as it stands, all the questions, be it from maybe previous surveys or whatever, will be listed here. But I don't want it that way. I want it to be in such that surveys and what's it called, a surveys that has been done will then be like the list. So when you click on the survey, then you get the answers. When you click on the survey, then you get the answers. But then again, also we should be able to, I mean, the Excel will do the filtering. That is, if let's say we export, we'll be able to filter based on the level or the job role. Okay, so it's just surveys and answers, list of surveys and the answers, list of surveys and the answers. So the surveys will be like a button, and then when you click on the surveys, you get the answers, and then you have the ability to export to Excel, and then from there you're able to do the filtering. Okay, so in a nutshell, this is what has been achieved. At the moment, I'm not able to go to the that's the user area. So this is where the user will do just will be the user will be getting like a default password, right? And when they log in, right, it is here that they enter the code. Okay, it's here that they enter, but then they have to select their level. So if it is pharmacist, you select the pharmacist, and then you select the code. You enter the code that has been provided you, and then you sign in to fill the survey. So ideally, that is how the survey has been structured. Okay, so I think this process also makes it very anonymous as well, so that there isn't anything that has to relate to the name, okay, that was used to fill, or was yes, that was used to do the survey. But then at the back end of it, I mean, we are able to have access to whatever details that is coming from the user as well. So I'm hoping we are completed by the end of this week. Um, there's also a bill that I also provide for this application as well. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you very much.